Recording in progress. Got it. All right. Now I got to review my intro. Anyway, hi, my name is Jade Kessner. This is for EDCU 337. Today is July 31st, 2022, and this is for assignment reading strategies book lesson and reflection fiction. And I have Miss K. Eugene with me here today, and we are going to be reading a book called The Little Lie. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
No. So, strategies we're using today are 6.3, put on a character's face. And the other strategy I'm using is 6.4, feelings change. So today we're going to be talking about feelings. What do you know about feelings? You already said afraid.
Yeah. I'm sorry, angry, jealous, surprised, embarrassed, proud, and bored.
Okay, good. You're reading off of the emotion list I have printed out for our story today. So, what face do you make when you're happy? You smile like this? So, when you smile like that, does that make you feel happy? Yeah. Okay, so what face do you make when you're angry? Right?
A mad face.
Does that make you mad when you make that face? Yeah, right? Okay. So while we read this story on our little timeline up here, our expression timeline, you have one over here. Luca's expressions, because there's two main characters in the story, Luca and Lily, right? Okay, so we're going to go through during the story while we're reading it, and we're going to look at the faces of Luca and Lily while we are reading, right? So we're going to see if Luca's face changes from being happy to sad, okay?
Or happy to bored.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna, make those faces ourselves. Be like, yeah, okay. So let me see if I can share my screen.
The story is called Little Lie.
Little Lie, and I'm gonna read it to you today. This is kind of a longer one, so we're gonna read it. And while we read it, I'm gonna ask you those questions like, what do you think Luca's feeling right now? Or what do you think Lily's feeling right now? And I just want you to be able to look at their facial expressions and look at the chart I gave you and let me know. And while we go through it, we're gonna, draw like a happy face in our boxes, or we're gonna draw like a sad face or bored or jealous. Exactly. So this is called The Little Lie. All right. Far, far away in a land where the wind blew in gusts over green sloping hills and the sea bashed joyfully on the rocks, there lived a little boy named Luca. Do you see Luca on the lighthouse? What do you think he's feeling right now?
Happy.
Happy. Why does he feel happy?
He likes the lighthouse.
Well, look. Does he have a smile on his face?
Huh?
And what does smiling mean?
That you're happy.
That you're happy. So in the beginning of the story, Luke is what?
Happy.
So what are we gonna put?
Happy. A smiling face.
Smiley face. Good job. Luca is happy in the beginning. Okay. Luca lived in a lighthouse with no windows, save for one at the very top, where his bedroom was, where the lamp let out the glare, where the ships to tell the ships where it was. There was not very much to read in the lighthouse, and it was easy to read. It was not easy to read either, especially if you wanted to read in your bedroom, because in the daytime the window was taken up by a large lamp, and the sun found it hard to get in. In the nighttime, Luca could only read a word every few seconds, when the lamp would swish way past everything, and everything would go blinding for a moment. Lucas still feel happy there?
Mhm.
Is he smiling? Yeah.
And
Not yet. Because this is kind of a longer story. But when we get done, we'll go back and look through, okay? Okay. So where on your chart is happy? On your emotions chart. Right there. Good job. But Luca loved reading, and so he did his best. He went outside and read in the garden through the weather was blustery and the wind would turn the pages before he could. Ooh, what does he look like?
like surprised at the ones.
Surprised at the wind? How can you tell he's surprised?
Because his mouth is open, like.
And that's what like surprise you make when like you open a gift on Christmas, right? Yeah. Like you get a gift from Santa and you're like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. Right. All right. He read in the kitchen too by the light in the oven when his mother was cooking jelly rolls and casseroles. In this way, Luca could read all 4 books in the White House. And when he had finished, he read them again. Yet living in the lighthouse with only 4 books is no life for a small boy who loves to read. His parents misunderstood his yearning and thought only that he might be lonely. And so when they met a little girl who lived in a passing submarine, they invited her to come play with them. Who do you think that is?
Lily.
Lily. And what's Lily feel?
Happy.
Why is she happy?
Because she gets to spend time with someone.
Okay, how can you tell she's happy?
Because she has a smile. Okay.
Can we mimic that face? Just right. So she's happy because she gets to spend time with Luca. Do you think we should put that in our box? Okay.
And what?
And Lily's expression. Remember, Lily's is on the bottom. All right. She's happy. Good job. And I'll put it down too. And do you think that her emotions are going to change throughout the story? What do you think they're going to change to?
Like sad, bored, afraid, excited, absurd, jealous, angry, embarrassed, proud, and
Yeah. Okay.
all of them.
They're just going to be all of them. She's just going to go through an emotional roller coaster again. Okay. All right. The little girl was called Lily. She loved to read too, but there was not much room for books on her submarine. She only had 1 book, and it was a book about the tides, because her father thought if they could fit only 1 book in the entire submarine, it was useful to have a book that 2 people could read. Lily loved that book. It had a green cover and marks on it because she carried it everywhere. Look at that. What do you think Lily's dad's feeling right now?
Happy.
Happy. Good job. I think he's feeling happy too. Today, Lily appeared at the door to the lighthouse, clutching the book beneath her arm. Hello, she said, and hello, Luca replied. They looked at each other for a long while, Luca in the doorway and Lily on the step. Are you going to invite her in? Said Luca's mother. And so he did. Once they had eaten, Luca showed Lily his upstairs room. He showed her the light spun on its base and lit up the entire sea. He showed her his 4 books. Ooh, what does she feel? What does she look like right now? Surprised. Why do you think she's surprised? Do you think she's ever seen a lighthouse bulb like that? So what should we put down? Lily looks surprised. How do you think we're gonna draw a surprise? Can you make a surprised face for me? So how do you think we're gonna draw that?
Like we're gonna
Open mouth. Okay. And Lucas still, what do you think Lucas feeling?
happy.
He's still happy?
Happy.
Happy. So should we put happy in our box?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope, we're gonna do it in that one. Okay.
Oh my God.
Still feeling happy.
Still feeling happy.
All right. Lily liked looking at Luca's 4 books, but she did not show Luca her own book, which she kept tightly pressed beneath her arm. Luca wanted to ask her to look at it, but he did not know how to ask. At that moment, a huge commotion appeared on the horizon. It was a storm, a big, dark storm striding across the whipped waves. Lily went very pale as she ran to the window. As she stood against it looking out, she was worried that the book slipped from underneath her arm and fell upon the cushions of the floor, but Lily didn't notice. I have to go, she cried. Mama and Papa are in the submarine. She ran down the stairs all the way to the bottom and then sprinted across the lawn. Luca watched her little red shoes flying behind her as the storm came in. She looks worried, doesn't she? Yeah. But although the storm was wild outside his window, Luca felt something very calm and quiet inside, because Luca had seen when Lily dropped her book. But for some reason, Luca hadn't told her, although he could have. He just thought it wouldn't be so bad if he could borrow the book for a little while. Lily wouldn't mind. It was just a book. The night had passed. The sea was bleached and lank, as though tired. Night fell early, and Luca did not tell his parents about the book. Did you have a good time with Lily? They asked him. Yes, said Luca. What did you do up there in your bedroom? They asked. We looked at the lamp, he said. Luca said a little lie. So, now that we're at this part in the story, has Luca's face changed from prior?
Yeah.
Yeah, what does he look like?
Looks like bored.
Do you think he's feeling bored, or do you think he's feeling kind of like, when you lie, what does it make you feel like? When I lie, sometimes, because everybody lies, it happens. When I lie, I feel sad afterwards because I know I should have told the truth. So do you think Luca feels sad right now? Do you feel sad after you tell him?
All like together. I lied.
All right, so Luca looks sad. Can you make a sad face with me? It's funny to make a sad face but not feel sad, huh? All right, so in the middle of the story, Luca feels, how are we going to draw that? Like that with the frown.
Oh, it looks like you're mad though.
Oh, he's just sad. All right.
What? Again?
Well, you got to let me read the story.
Okay.
Okay. He just didn't want his parents to know that he had read books with Lily because they might ask about her book. He didn't want them to know about Lily's book because they might tell him to take it back. Shall we read one of your books tonight before you go to bed? Asked his parents. No, said Luca. I'm feeling tired. But Luca wasn't feeling tired. That was another little lie. He wanted to read the book, and he wanted to go back to his bedroom and read every time the lamp flashed past. By midnight, he was so tired, and he only read 1/3 of the book. Look at that little lamp shining in. But what a wondrous book. He had never seen so many things about tides, when they came in and when they went out, what moon brought what creatures, what swells took you to Germany or Guinea. As he turned each page, Luca realized that he had never wanted to give the book back, and he could see why Lily loved it. He looked, the tide is in because the rocks are the same, but then this is when the tide's out because the people are standing on the sand. Oh my goodness. Yet next morning he was very, very tired. He got up out of bed very late. His parents were surprised to see him so sleepy. Why do you think they were surprised?
Because he got up so early and they got down the stairs and they saw him downstairs all by himself waiting. Very tired.
Because he was tired. And didn't he tell his parents before at dinner time that he was tired, so he wanted to go lay down?
Yeah.
So why do you think they were surprised when he woke up tired?
Because he didn't go to bed.
because they think he told a lie, right? Right? Yeah. Lily came past, they told him. She asked if they had left her book there. Luca felt the blood rush to his face, but but it felt like the words came by themselves. No, he said, I haven't seen a book. That was the biggest little lie he's ever told, and it felt like they were coming one on top of another now, like waves in a storm. So when the blood rushes to your face, that makes you blush, right? And when you blush, what do you feel?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed or nervous, right? So do you think we should put nervous? We should put nervous in the box since that's he's feeling nervous and blushed because they're asking him about those questions. What do you when you feel nervous? What faces you make? You're kind of like worried, right? You're kind of like looking around. So how should we draw nervous? Like that. I think I'm gonna draw it like kind of straight face, but with like little blush on the cheeks, right? Well, it's okay. You can fix it. Well, it's a pen. You can't erase. I mean, you can just draw little circles for the. And when before we figured out Luca was nervous, it said that Lily came past and she had left the book there. What do you think she felt when she, couldn't find her book? Sad. So do you think we should put sad in Lily's expression box? Why do you think she's feeling sad? And why do you think that book is so important to her?
Because she loved it so much she didn't want to lose it.
And it was her only book, right? So if you only had one toy and say, I took your toy and didn't tell you, you would feel sad. Yeah. Are you gonna put sad in Lily's expression box? Good job. The next night, Luca intended to do the same thing as the first night. He snuck into his bedroom and read Lily's book. The words were as wonderful as ever. See, she looks sad here. See, we made a prediction. But this time, something felt a little different in Luca too. He felt strange when he turned each page. He kept imagining Lily in her submarine floating in the water, gazing back at the black roof with no words on it. How lonely she must feel without her special book. And now Luca had five. The morning following, the feeling inside him had grown. He felt a big, hard lump in his belly, as big and hard as the beautiful book he had stolen. And that heavy feeling felt bad, and he couldn't shake it off. So, like, after you lie, do you feel like sad to yourself sometimes? Me too. I feel sad to myself when I lie too. It followed him and made his feet drag. It made his smile feel strange when he smiled at his parents, and his eyes sting as though he was opening them too wide or not wide enough. I'll pay attention. As the day passed, Lucas slowly knew what he had to do. He felt very sorry that he had told no one that he had the book. He didn't know why he had done it, but Lily's book belonged to Lily. So he felt bad, right? Yeah. He picked up the book and walked all the way to the submarine and asked if he could speak to her. And when Lily popped up out of the porthole, her face was red and sad from trying to notice the book, and he gave Lily her book back. See, look, she was still sad that her book was missing. I had it all along and I wanted to read it, but I didn't tell the truth when you asked if I had it. Lucas says, I'm sorry. How did Lily's face change from being sad and crying? Why is she happy?
Because she got her book back.
Do you think we should put that in her ending expression box? Because that's what she feels happy at the end.
Luca.
Well, we'll find out.
I know what happened to Luca earlier.
He said he was sorry, right? He felt bad. It made him feel ashamed of himself, even though he didn't know why he had done it. He worried that Lily would think he was unkind. But instead, Lily's face beamed and embraced her book once more. What a lovely thing to tell the truth, she said. That must have been very hard for you. Thank you, Luca. And Luca suddenly felt as tall as the lighthouse. Shall we read the book together, Lily asked. And Luca and Lily became, from that day forwards, the very best friends. In this picture, what's Luca feeling? How did his feelings change? Why is he happy now?
Because he's smiling.
Okay. Why do you think those feelings changed?
Because from it went like he was happy earlier in the beginning, and then at the end he's happy again because he got to read the story with Lily.
And they're friends now?
Okay. Because now they're just met.
That's the end of the story. Awesome. Still recording. Good. So, do you read a lot of stories at school?
Not a whole bunch, just a little bit.
When you're reading those different stories, when you do read them at school, do you notice how the faces of the characters change? Yeah. So when they're feeling sad, does that make you feel sad? Or when they're happy, that makes you feel happy? Yeah. So when you're reading your next fiction book, or like a book like this with, say, Carter, your brother, obviously, or at school, and your characters their faces start changing, you gotta like really see the different emotions, right? You gotta really see the emotions of the characters when they change, so that way you know what they're feeling. Okay. So what do you think you learned today?
I learned how you can't lie.
Yeah, so when you lie, it makes you sad. And what does it look like when you're sad? Good. And we learned that different expressions mean different things, right?
Yeah.
And that
Like,
when
happy, sad, bored, afraid, excited, afraid, surprised, angry, embarrassed, proud, bored.
good job. All right, that's the end of our thingy.
Alright.
Say bye.
Bye bye.